All right, welcome back to PlanetGenX Reacts to Picard, Episode 9. Vox. Yes, Vox. Latin. The voice. Yes, the voice. Well, where do we begin?
I want to tell you where I want to begin.
Begin at the beginning.
After this, I want to do a sci-fi deep dive.
Yeah?
The Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay.
Because I definitely want to go back and rewatch the 12 Monkeys series.
Yeah, you need to, because Raritan is one of the top, one of the things at the top of my list here. That's another 12 Monkeys reference.
Right.
Yeah. Terry Matalas, who I've mentioned before, is the showrunner, and he is formerly the 12 Monkeys guy. So, yeah, a whole ton of 12 Monkeys references this whole season. And Raritan is just another one of them. I forget.
And
now,
of course,
my wife watched it. I did not watch the 12 Monkeys series. I love the movie, but
it's an amazing series.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. She enjoyed it a lot, so she's pretty good about knowing what I like, and very intellectual girl. So it's a good show. I'm sure it is.
And this would be the most iconic theme from that for me is the red leaves.
Yeah, so turns out I was totally wrong. We are Borg. What?
I mean, we dropped the Borg idea at some point in this, I'm sure, because it's Picard, right?
Yeah, but man, was I way off with the pod race, wasn't I?
Yeah, but maybe that was a misdirect, right?
I think so. I wasn't the only one who got taken by that one.
Right.
Just hearing Picard saying, "I am Locutus of Borg. Your life, as it has been, is over." It goes on, but I forget the rest. I used to have that as a startup sound on my computer back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And it's quite lengthy, so I took it off. I was like, what? Jesus, I can't start up till this thing's finished. Good old days of Windows 3.
Right.
Wait. I think so, yeah.
3.1 or 95?
Yeah, it was not, something like that. So we find out Jack is Locutus spawn.
Right.
Yeah, that was... Boy, man, they really had to really think this one out. They had to, because to come up with this whole premise is... I don't hate it. I just feel like they're really reaching a little bit here.
I agree, but this entire season has been like greatest hits, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of fan service going on. There's a lot of Easter eggs, and this would have to. I think it's hard to not think of Picard when you think of the Borg.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, there's a lot of fan service. I think what we did, and the reason I even got sidetracked with pod wraiths, is because of how they were doing each kind of, like Deep Space Nine was getting a lot of love there at the beginning. So obviously the red eyes make you think of pod wraiths, and it's a good cover. It's a good red herring for them. Mm-hmm. But now we're out of the whole Deep Space Nine stuff, and we're back to just full-on TNG.
Right.
Maybe a touch of Voyager because of 7 being in there. But we're full on pretty much TNG now, and Shelby being in there, oh shit,
I was going to say, the next character we see is Shelby.
I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Just going by my notes. Obviously, Picard, I always thought he seemed scarred by his time as Locutus, but this... seems like you really feel it. You really understand it more than you've ever understood it. I really think he conveyed how much it sucked for him to be Locutus and watch him hurting all his friends and
I don't know. I got it the first time. I got it in TNG when he was talking about, not being him anymore and, no free will and all the things that he talked about in TNG, or in Star Trek rather.
Maybe it was. I guess for me it was because with me being so detached that it's probably him able to convey the fact that it was so many people, because you don't get that feeling. Like I'm saying, he was talking about, killing all these friends he knew, these colleagues and stuff like that, and that he didn't really say in the old days. Like he didn't go through all that, and I think maybe that hit me a little bit more, is conveying how he really did. Imagine having to watch that through your eyes and you have no control. That would suck really bad. Yeah, no doubt. And we find out Jack can assimilate anyone under 25 now, so it's convenient for the crew for sure.
That's different.
What?
If I recall correctly, the age under 25 where was the genetic code got.
Oh, sorry. Yes. No, you're right. He can jump into anybody. He can jump into anybody, but
so he has the Borg ability with humans.
I wonder if he can jump into just anybody. I think they still have to have the. Okay, so they would have to have the Borg stuff. So they have to be under 25. No, I'm right, because think about this. You can only get it through the transporter. So they would have had to get it through the transporter. They have to be under 25. So for him to go into their body.
There's some logic there, but yeah, I'm getting it now. That was one of those things that wasn't expressly said. But how it works.
That's why we only saw him jump into LaForge's little girl. Because she's under 25. Yeah, because they're all, So my statement stands. Good. I'm glad I didn't fucking get that wrong.
No, but it's good that we had to explain it too.
Yeah, because they didn't really go into that. You just have to kind of connect the dots, and so we connected them for you. Data still a bit awkward, man. I thought that was funny when he comes in to talk to Picard. He's still a bit, do you need me to say something nice or whatever he said there? Do you need comfort or something? And then he just kind of places the hand on him. It just still has that awkward. He's got a very awkward look to him and feel. And
I don't know. I think that was supposed to show growth as the character, right? Like that was his previous self asking if he could comfort him.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean,
putting his hand on the shoulder is more humane. I
guess I just figure that he's got all these experiences. He's got lore. He's got lull. He's got before, which isn't much, and a little bit of soon. I just kind of expected him with this, especially with his new body that's more like a human body, to just be natural. Exactly. It didn't feel natural, and that's what I was saying. He still seems very awkward. So, but you make a good point about the growth. So that's probably what they were trying to convey.
Yeah.
I thought the shuttles seem so kind of sameish to me. But I guess it's only 30 years. You kind of look at our vehicles. I guess not too much has changed. Some. But yeah.
I'm sure their performances have increased, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of changes interior-wise. But as far as the exterior, it still looked very similar to ones from 30 years ago. I meant to go back and get the rest of the ships. But I can throw out a few names of the ships that were on the board for you. You remember Admiral Ross, right, from Deep Space Nine? He was one of the ships. The USS Ross was listed. Right. There was a USS Castillo.
Yeah.
A USS Pulaski.
Yeah, that was a good one for me.
Of course, the Reliant.
Right. Was
there, and we have a little there. I didn't know it when I wrote this down, but Reliant actually has a scene there later. I was thought Jack's phaser. That phaser looked really old school. I saw him. Didn't he pick it up in Picard's quarters? It seemed like he did. But and I haven't been paying attention.
I thought he took it off of. I thought he had something on his ship, but then when he got on the Titan, and was being chased by the changelings, he took it off of one of them. But I don't know. I don't remember seeing. This is the first time I remember seeing the phaser, and it's very TOS. It's like this goes totally away from like the TNG phasers we've seen. So yeah, I was a little thrown by that. So maybe they've gone back to. Well, obviously they've gone back to
a newer looking old standard. I don't know. I thought maybe he just picked up an old phaser somewhere, but I just thought that was kind of weird. Shit, I skipped over a note. The Enterprise F, bro. Enterprise F. Come on, man. What the hell? That was so cool. That was huge.
Yeah.
And Shelby's on the Enterprise F, sitting pretty. And dude, Shelby is an annoyance for me from back in the day. I hated Shelby. She was a little shit. Yeah, I couldn't stand her, the way she was talking to Riker. She was just an asshole. But she, leave it to her to make the ships like Borg,
Right.
She was obsessed with the Borg, and here she goes making the whole fleet to where they operate just like the Borg. That's messed up, and it definitely worked against them. But yeah, I loved seeing the Enterprise F. It was great.
We did also see the Intrepid in there.
What's that?
We did also see the Intrepid.
Yes, and also, that comes later. Sorry. Yeah, I meant to go back and get the list of the other ships, but
I do have a list here. We can go through.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I didn't know you had them. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we got the Okuda.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew that one too. Sorry.
Okay. Named for
Michael and Denise.
Who worked on the show. The Sutherland.
Yep.
Apparently, Data took command of that in Redemption.
That's right. Yeah, that's the one where that guy gave him a lot of shit. They were trying to do a web of sorts to detect the Romulans, and this guy just thought Data didn't belong there.
Right, yeah. I remember now.
Yeah, what an asshole.
The Drexler.
Mm-hmm. Drexler is Doug Drexler, yeah. He was one of the guys that... great guy, good artist. Yeah. He actually, Doug Drexler has moved into CG. Doug did the work on the remasters of TOS.
Oh, really?
The CG, yeah, he did a lot of CG work on that. I believe that's Doug. Yeah.
We saw the Akira, of course, referencing.
Yeah, the Akira class. Yeah, which you reference, it does go from the movie. That's where that comes from.
Right. Well, I mean, the name for the young folks, there is a great anime called Akira. You need to watch it if you haven't.
Yeah.
Luna from Lower Decks.
Mm-hmm.
The Excelsior was in Picard 2 premiere.
Well, yeah, but the Excelsior is the refit of the Excelsior from Wrath of Khan.
Right. The Ross, I think you may have mentioned that.
Yeah, I mentioned the Ross, yeah.
Did you say the Reliant?
I did. Yeah, the Reliant and Castillo.
Castillo.
Yep.
The Zanghead, which was one that Riker piloted.
Uh-huh.
In season 1, right?
Yeah.
Ibn al-Haytham, which was an Arabian astronomer.
Okay.
The Harlan, science fiction writer.
Yeah.
The Forest.
That was for Admiral Forrest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little Enterprise Sulu reference. Yeah, the Hikaru Sulu.
TOS. USS Intrepid, which we mentioned, and the Cochrane.
And the Cochrane, of course. You got to have old Cochrane.
Zephyrin Cochrane.
Yeah.
Got to have him in there somewhere.
Yeah, got to represent.
I'm surprised it's taken us this far to, get into that Easter egg.
I know it'd be really on the nose, but USS Roddenberry wouldn't have hurt.
Right, no.
I mean, you could say that since it is kind of in our history that he has influenced a lot of our technology in a way, that it wouldn't be unheard of for them to also have a Roddenberry who wrote stories that maybe led to what they have. Leads up to what they have. So they could actually name a ship the Roddenberry. I think it would have been nice. It would have been a nice little nod to him. Although, you see, well, let me get to that. I'll bring it up.
I just will say on that I think they purposely practiced a little bit of restraint there.
Yeah, they did give him a nod, though. I'll go ahead and say it. So, well, no, I'm going to wait, because we're going to get there. We're going to get there. The Borg Queen, who we do not see except the back of her head, is Alice Creed's voice.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great that they brought her back for that. It would be cool if we get to see her. I don't know if they'll do that or not. It's really easy to get her to do voice. It's hard to get her in front of a camera.
Yeah.
I like that Locutus is the one who speaks and Vox is the voice. That was pretty clever. Now, them knowing that all this time, I never thought about the Latin terms and never even bothered to look that up ever.
Really?
Yeah, so that's a new one on me.
Locutor is actually the English version.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And we had a clue about the transporters being the way that they did this because Ro would not use the transporter. She suspected something was going on there. So they did foreshadow that just a little bit. That big thing inside the Borg ship that they kind of use to send out the waves, is that a variculum or whatever it's called? I thought that might be just a huge variculum. I'm saying this wrong, I'm sure, but you know what I mean.
It's smaller.
Yeah, it's those little things.
It's around the con.
Right. Well, it's there throughout the ship, I think. And that's how it's basically an antenna, more or less. A router, really, a router. So I guess that's the giant router, more or less. So I'd like to know if they call it the same thing. It'd be interesting. And Shelby is dead. And damn, I say, the Excelsior, man, gone. That sucked. I really hated to see that. They could have blown up anything. Why the Excelsior? I have been meaning to ask this question. Are the uniform jackets, is that leather? It looks like leather.
It looks like it, but I mean,
I kind of hope it is because I really dig that, man. I really dig it. I'd like to have one of those uniforms if it's leather. I'm sure it would be very expensive to have made, but man, it looks really good on the camera, I think.
It would be a cool geek item to have.
Data, you could be a little more positive. I hope we die quickly.
Right.
That was great. Just an absolute great line. They've had a bunch of good one-liners in this season, for sure. Shaw, man, Shaw.
Just got through talking about Paz and had to deal with Shaw this time around.
Yeah, you guys know if you watched our Mandalorian reaction video that we were talking about how Paz went down and Shaw, man.
I'm going to teach him how to throw a video box in one of these directions for that on this video.
I used them when we first started doing it, and then I started getting away from them because there's a lot I could be doing in these videos. It's just trying to get, I've gotten very fast about making them and editing them. So when I get, now that I'm getting more comfortable there, I explore other things. You guys see chapters. I got chapters now. I'm trying to grow. You say, hey, what about the Celebrations logo looking all good up in there in that last thing? I thought that was nice. I had to actually go grab that and cut it out myself. It required work. I had to throw a damn transparency behind it, damn it. But yeah, and I love how he said 7 and 9. That was really sweet. Nice little moment there. And I waited because I wanted to make this Gene Roddenberry reference. He did get his little, if you saw it quickly, on the panel, on the plaque, for the Enterprise D! Yeah! Oh, man. Fanboy wet dream, y'all. Fanboy wet dream has just happened all over the screen.
Did you kind of get a Millennium Falcon ping there of like how it was a wreck when he first got it?
He said a wreck. No, I didn't, honestly.
I did. I was kind of thinking about that. I was like, that reminds me of what the Millennium Falcon was when, well, specifically in the sequel.
Yeah.
But also when Ham got it, I think it was beat up, wasn't it? Or when we were introduced to it?
Well, in in A New Hope, it was beat up to hell. Yeah.
Right.
And in Solo, it's shiny.
Yeah.
Which is wild, seeing it all pretty and new, for sure. Yeah, it was so awesome seeing the Enterprise D. Of course, we find out that it's got parts. That is the original saucer that they had to go back and get because of the Prime Directive. Thank God for the Prime Directive, huh? And thank God for Geordi's diligence and wanting to recreate it and have it actually all working, because it's got the nacelles of the USS Syracuse.
I don't know. It kind of feels like geek behavior, like a ship in a bottle, but he's rich and influential, so he can do this instead.
Yeah, no, hey, I'm down with it. Thank God he did it, right? The only analog ship that can run right now. I love too the fact that we can talk analog and digital in the 24th century? The 24th century? Yeah. Or 25th century. I believe I'm right. Because TNG was at the end of the 24th. It started in 21, or Jesus, it was in 71 or something like that, 70 or 71 when TNG started. Sorry.
Yeah, they did the weird shit with the star dates.
Yeah, but anywho, the plaque on that ship is the original plaque that has Gene Roddenberry's name on it, so he does get the nod, so that's cool.
Yeah,
it has all the names that were on the plaque back in the day. Data getting choked up is cute. Gotta love it, man. Just anything Data showing emotion is just fun. Even though we've seen that kind of thing before, it's still funny. The Enterprise E. What about the Enterprise? That was not my fault. You know,
right?
You gotta love it, man. Okay, so yeah, he was captain of the Enterprise E War for a little while. For those that keep up with the books and comics and stuff like that. So I don't know what he did. I don't know. I don't follow that kind of stuff, but somebody has said it on the internet, I'm sure.
I want to say he lost it.
And I love how we're continuously seeing Jean-Luc be referred to as captain. Now, using Mojelle Barrett's beautiful voice as the computer, who we haven't heard since the Kelvin movies. They did use her voice in that. I loved hearing her voice as the computer. I just love her computer voice. And
nostalgia, right?
Yeah, and it's nice because it includes her too. And in this, and I love how he says, "I accept the field demotion." You know, it's just great. I guess I accept the field demotion. Yeah, you got no choice. The computer's made it so. And speaking of make it so, we get one from old Picard. Make it so. Great. Just absolutely great. You can't beat it with a stick. And seeing Geordi in the driver's seat where he started before he was chief engineer was awesome to see. I will make a point that had he decided to stay back in his station, an engineering station back there, in Engineering 1, Bev or Troy could technically drive the ship because they both have command experience. You know, Troy went through the whole deal because of asking Beverly, why are you a commander? You know, well, she said, well, you know, I just thought it would be something I wanted to do. And Deanna decided, well, hell, I think that's something I want to try and do. And damn near almost didn't make it. So yeah, I just thought that would be an interesting side note that they could potentially have taken that spot, because Bev doesn't really have a spot other than where she sat on the bridge from time to time when she came up. And Geordi, only spot he had was Engineering 1 or sitting there at the front before he was in the helm position. So very nice to see everybody in their spots. It was really cool. Worf back behind tactical. Roy,
I'm amazed.
You're amazed?
I was just going to say, I'm amazed that it took us so long to get a reference to Will.
How so?
Well, she name drops, or Beverly name drops him earlier in the episode.
Oh, did she?
When she was talking about how she tried to give Will space, and then space took him from me, and then how she tried to raise Jack.
Yeah. Yes, I remember.
Callback.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, talking about you said Will, talking about Will Wheaton. Sorry, I was a little slow. And I forgot where I was going. Yeah. You mentioned something and made me think of something I didn't write down, and damn if I didn't forget it.
That's all right.
Anyway, great one more great episode. I mean, just fangasm. Loved it. So I can't wait to see our guys and girls together again, one last time, one last episode. I really hope they do it right. I hope they don't disappoint. I hope it's a long episode so it doesn't feel rushed. I can't stand for a finale to feel like it was just thrown together to, you got 60 minutes or you got 45 minutes and you got to crush it all in there, cram it all in there.
That's kind of one thing I feel about this series, this season in particular, is there's a lot of great stuff in it. Don't get me wrong, but it does feel like you're missing little bits of nuance and substance to cram everything in.
Yeah, definitely the Vadic thing felt like it just felt off. Yeah, felt a little off. But yeah, great episode. Can't wait to see it next week. I can't wait to see you guys next week for sure. So please remember, hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button. Make that algorithm like us. Yeah. Until next time, we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Thanks, everybody.
I give him the 2-finger peace.